Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is team news reaction time ahead of Liverpool's 5th round FA Cup tie against Norwich City later this evening. Ste and Errol back in the studio for this one, as has often been the case over the last few weeks. We've been Liverpool's good luck charms, including in the final at the weekend. We've just about rested and recuperated from that one, but yeah, we're looking forward to the game tonight. Again, we don't know really, we kind of has a guess at when Liverpool are going to release their team news. We know kick-off in the game is at 8:15 UK time, but back the kick-off at the latest, the team will be out at 8:15. It might be 7 o'clock. We just don't really know, so we've gone early. But how are you feeling, my mate? You're over the weekend. You feeling good?
Just about over the weekend. Still sat on cloud nine, but just eventually getting over it now. And we was almost not the good luck Tom. At one point I thought our luck was running out.
Yeah, man.
It was a stressful day, to say the least, but that's typical Liverpool fashion. If we're going to get the job done, we're going to make it grueling and intense. We're going to have your heart rate going through the roof, but we're going to deliver the goods at the end of the day. And you know, it was boss to just see some of the emotion. I think a few people have picked up on the fact that, you know, because we didn't get to celebrate the Premier League title in person with obviously the players and the fans, didn't get that like interaction. It was nice that they got to kind of make the most of the occasion, being at Wembley over the weekend. So I thought that was it was a nice touch, and it just felt like it was fitting for obviously where we are at the season. I just think it gears us up lovely, and in the end it was a bit of a perfect dress rehearsal for me.
Absolutely, mate. And I've had a chat in the group, in the live chat here on YouTube. I think it's Oisin McGlinchey who says, Steve, have you ever done a watch along where the Reds have lost? I can't remember a single game. Not me and Errol together. No, never lost with me and Errol. A couple of draws. I think the worst result was the Brighton 2-2 we did together. I wasn't on for West. I had COVID for West Ham, so you were with Ross, but so Brighton 2-2 and that Arsenal 0-0. That's about as bad as it's got. We've
been lucky. We've been very lucky. Yeah.
I don't know if it's us or it's just Liverpool being dead boss at our footy. And it's probably the fact that we do the home games as well, and Liverpool are even better at Anfield. Yeah. I did the build-up show for this game, and I did the 11. I've been involved. Obviously, Paul Kiss was in London a bit, so I've been heavily involved. So I switched back onto it pretty much. I was trying to get my head around it straight away. Yeah.
Did you watch it back?
I watched the final. I watched everything back. Yeah. As much footage as I could get. Obviously, we were in the stadium, so I've been anything I could get my hands on. But this is the point I was driving towards, is that it even took me, who with all this going on, like a few days to get my head around. Here's the game again. The players, they haven't had that luxury. They've been pretty much, you know, Mo Salah was in the ice bath at 2 a.m. in the morning, wasn't he? It feels like that's the only negative of the League Cup, is that you don't really get to celebrate it properly. Yeah. But that's a good thing, because Liverpool, and also, mate, there's 4 trophies to win, 1 down, 3 to go, as they all keep saying. And the step 1 of 3 to go, Errol's tonight. We think Liverpool are going to be heavily changed. There's going to be a lot of rotation. Jürgen's pretty much referenced anyone who played 120. He's not going to be involved. Yeah. But again, it is still step 2. It is, it's the next step. So it is a very big game. It just it has got that feel, Lord's Mayor's show after the Lord's Mayor's show feel to it. For us, hopefully the players aren't feeling the same.
Do you know what? I think it'll be a nice change for some of the lads that didn't get involved. They'll be wanting to prove their point now. They'll be wanting to go out and be like, do you know what? Considering how much of a team effort it was to get as far as we did in the League Cup, the morale for the whole core group right now is probably on a high in general. Yeah. Confidence will be on a high. They'll be, you know, wanting to be the team that goes and plays the first home game since winning it. So there'll be that feeling. Anfield will be geeing them up. So I get that's probably a bit of a negative, because we haven't had a chance to breathe and take stock. But at the same time, I don't want them to take stock right now. Take stock when we're sat there
with 4 cups in the summer.
Ideally, that's the perfect time to take stock. Do you know what I mean? But when you know you're in a final and you can start to look back at what's got you to this point within your season, you know, what games have you had to go through, what were your high points, what were the low points, and now kind of looking at, right, well, this could potentially be up for grabs, you know, if we make it to Wembley, you know, quarter-final, get through that, semi-final, back in Wembley. Oh, last time he was here, remember, that was sick, that was boss, all of that kind of vibe. Go deep into the Champions League, we do the whole 2-leg thing, and then you end up at a final. You look back and think, wow, you know, at this point, you're probably thinking, we haven't been beat all season in the Champions League. Icing on the cake's now going to get the trophy. So there are so many good factors for us to actually look at. that again extra had a little bit of motivation. But I think winning on Sunday was the perfect G-up that the lads as a whole squad needed now, because again it just solidifies the kind of camaraderie between the group. Everybody's falling apart. Like, that's been my biggest reservation for a Liverpool team for a while, is what happens when we get dumped out of these cup competitions early. What's the mentality like for the other lads that are on the fringes? Are they still giving it 110%?
Because they know they're never going to kick a ball for the next. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, that's what the FA Cup does for you. The League Cup did it. Yeah. How many minutes has Taki Minamino got? He's probably happy. Yeah. Look, you saw him, Costas, again, another one. Lads who were on the fringe, but they played lots of games in the League Cup. They've managed to get on the pitch, which just keeps everyone ticking over. Because at some point you'll need them. Yeah. So they've actually got games in the legs, and that's what the FA Cup will do. Now, again, we're expecting a change Liverpool side, but by and large, we'll see what works tonight. Afterwards, you're in a quarter-final, that's probably a big game. And all of a sudden, this could be, again, last chance saloon for a few people to get proper minutes in their legs. So they'll be keen to have, they'll definitely have a point to prove. Just going to give a quick shout-out to some of our Club Legend Discords, then some of our Redmen plus Club Legends who are with us. So Steve,
where are you? The Legends Lounge is empty. Yeah,
the Legends Lounge is now empty. See, you've come for a final. You can't turn up for Wednesday at Norwich, can you? To be fair, you weren't invited. So shout out to Steve, to Scott, to Tony as well, all in there as well. And shout out to Steve's family. We had his daughter who gave us a shout out on the show. Steve, if you let me know the names of the kids I forgot to mention as well. We've also got Chesney and we've got Tree Frog in there as well. We've got all the team with us. Obviously, all you wonderful guys watching along on YouTube as well. Like I say, we are waiting for the Liverpool team. We don't know if it's going to be out in 3 minutes or it's going to be out in like 18 minutes. We'll find out together. It's going to be a jolly surprise. We've got a shout from Finn Davey there. Says the team released yet. Not yet, Finn. We are on tenterhooks, just like you. Going back, Errol, to the rest and recovery and the we go again mentality that we found ourselves in. I think one of the hardest things to do is not celebrate. I think I've always, in every job I've worked in, whether as an employee or I've gone up the ladder to a manager, I've always said, even your small successes, you really need to go and celebrate them big. Liverpool got a few hours in the changes and stuff. Like, I do wonder, like, do you reckon in the past, and I've gone, you know what, if we'd have just lost to Cardiff, we could have had like 4 or 5 days on the ale, but no, you haven't got it. So, but these are, again, mentality monsters. They're not wired like me and you are. But I wonder deep down if one of them's thinking, would have been nice to at least like have Sunday night, like maybe Monday morning.
They live and breathe for this though, mate.
Yeah, man.
Like, when you're talking about being an elite footballer, or you're not even talking about being an elite footballer, when you're talking about or you're talking to a young lad that has got aspirations to become a professional footballer, what's your end goal? What's your ultimate dream? I want to lift the silverware. I want to, be at finals. I want to get man of the match moments. All these accolades is what they want. So when you're in the thick of it, essentially, and you're living and breathing your dream, trust me, that is a next level high. That adrenaline on that alone, it can't be replicated with a few beers down the pub. Like, you just don't get that same buzz. Like, we are not cut from the same cloth, with the greatest respect to us. We're not, you know what I mean? Like,
it might not look like it. I know we might be fooling it. We are not professional athletes as well.
All of this, it's just for show.
It looks it, but we're fooling you. We are not prime athletes. Errol's probably more of an athlete than I am.
Absolutely not. If you'd have seen my performance on Monday, mate, you'd have been doubting that as well.
I was knackered on Monday morning. Never mind all these lads who've just done 120 chasing around Wembley. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye out on the team news. If it does come out, we'll react straight away, of course. Before we do, though, Steve has told me the kids' names who I promise shout-outs to. So Jack, Elliot and Courtney and Imogen as well. Thanks for getting involved. Yazar was good, very good fun at the weekend. I don't think he got involved in the FIFA, though, did he? So it was just Steve. Yeah, it was steering clear. The FIFA became a bit of an issue in the office. There was too many people doing too many snide goals. Yeah, we're keeping that again. We're keeping an eye out. We are at 7 o'clock now, and as it stands, I have not seen a team news or anything of the sort. Or maybe they are going to keep us hanging till 15:15. As soon as anything does happen, we will find out. With that being said, then Errol, he's already referenced he's not going to play Kelleher, who is his cup goalie. So we'll almost say, and it makes sense as well for Alisson to get some games, because if he doesn't play, he's had almost 2 weeks with no any top of rhythm and stuff. I'm guessing like the likes of Joe Gomez will be hoping to be in this team. Curtis Jones didn't play a minute at Wembley as well. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah. They're the lads who are guessing. If we were all guessing a team, I'm guessing we'd all have those in it. And again, we keep saying when you get your opportunity, you have to take it. again, whatever. I think Ox has for the most part. To be fair, I think it's cruel to say Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain had a bad. He's played well. Gomez has hardly had a sniff, and I do feel like sometimes when you're not been playing at all, there's so much pressure on you. You get one shot, one chance. I hope that's the only worry for me when you put 4 or 5 of those lads in at the same time. It's like they're all so keen to impress. No, it's more like, hey, yeah, you're right. They haven't played together. They haven't played footy. They're all trying to get back into it. But B, like they're keen to be the man. I need to be the big show. Again, that must be quite difficult to manage that. Like, no, you just do your job and I'm watching you, don't worry. I suppose that's why Jürgen earns the big bucks, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's a very good point, to be honest with you, mate, because it's been a while and you ain't getting drafted in out the cold, but we've seen it with Curtis Jones the other week. He hadn't been in the team for a few weeks and then just got drafted into a game, comes on, takes him 10-15 minutes to kind of get up to speed, but then all of a sudden has a really good game and he starts to just focus on doing the basics and then gets himself involved and then he starts to become more of an integral part in the game. I think this Norwich team are going to be, up for it. They seemed up for it when we played them the other week as well. They looked as if they could hurt us, trying to, play through our lines, and I think they did that on a few occasions, really, and they seem to have started the first half certainly better than what we did, and obviously it took us a while to get a grip of the game. So, I think with the lads that are probably going to be drafted into play this one, I'm looking at the board there. Who did that? The prediction one.
That was me.
That was you.
That was my predicted 11. Yeah.
So I can see on the predicted 11 there. You've got Milner playing.
At right back,
yeah.
Now, Conor Bradley wasn't involved for the youth team today.
Oh, okay.
So that could be a big old shout out.
So potentially, I might think maybe Bradley, Milner plays in that potential 6. I don't know if I think in my head I would have had in midfield potentially Milner in the 6, the Ox and Jones. I don't know if you can play Harvey Elliott and Jones in that same midfield, but you could certainly put Elliott on one side, of the front 3.
Or Jones can go left wing, can't Jones?
Or Jones could play wide left, and then I would have probably had Jota down the middle, just because I think with this type of game, ideally, Jürgen's probably thinking this is the one out of any that I'd want to win in 45 minutes. Yeah. Because if we can...
The last thing we need is extra time.
Yeah, like...
Personally, on my point of view, I'm done with extra time. But and also for the lads with West Ham on the weekend.
Exactly.
That's the risk, isn't it? If you go too weak, you're resting legs, but also you're
exposing yourself and you
more legs.
Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword in that respect. So I genuinely think this is the one where if you can play Jota in his preferred position, you can get 60 minutes out of him. He can get 2 goals. He can nick us 2 goals. And we've got a strong hold and control of the game. Then you can bring Origi on, and if he pops up with another moment, but in the last half an hour, 35 minutes, great, it's an added bonus because we probably have taken the game away from Norwich at that point at home. But then it's about, obviously, reserving legs and game management for people, rather than what you mentioned of not having players in the ideal and preferred positions, not hanging on, but like giving Norwich the incentive to keep digging into the game, keep fighting hard, making us work hard, dragging it out to 80 minutes, they nick a goal, and all of a sudden we're sat there in extra time, and everyone's a bit like, I can't, because that's when you start to worry. For me, if that happened and we had the mentality to go and beat them, it's like fucking great, like wow, we really are unbelievable, but that's going to take a lot out of the engine and it'll drain a lot of the players. And again, Norwich have got a massive game at the weekend, bigger than this one. I spoke to, obviously it was Joe, the Norwich fan on the opposition preview this weekend. He basically said like, they've got Brentford and then they've got Leeds in their next 2 league games, both of them. Basically, if you don't win, he was basically saying, if we don't win both of them, we're down. Even a draw isn't great in either of those games, so they're in the same boat. They're expected to make changes as well. They've had injuries. Both their full-backs are out injured and their centre half, so we haven't got a Norwich team yet either, but they're in a similar boat. Before we get to that, we're going to a couple of more Club Legend shout-outs. So happy birthday to Scott, enjoying along for the ride. Scott is one of our loyal Club Legends as well. So happy birthday to Scott. Shout-outs to Chris, to Jeff, to Scouse Wannabe 83 as well, and to Dan, who was also in the studio the other day, and to Liverpool Nut, all joining along from the Club Legend Discord. If you want to do that, if you want to get involved in the Club Legend Discord chat full of wonderful people, head on over to redmentv.com, join Redmen Plus as a Club Legend. That is one of the many perks you get. And
one of the best perks, I think, is that you actually get to appear on a Redmen TV show as well. The Club Legends have their own show. So 3 of the Club Legends each and every week are joined by one Redmen personality. I've been on the show, you've been on the show, Errol. We've had Sam Walker, who was actually one of the latest guests on the show. So we had all... Emma's been on there. Obviously, Paul, Chris, Ross, Si, Tom, a lot of us. So that is one of the amazing perks that you will get if you do decide to join us. Right then, so like I say, I'll keep you guys up to date on what our plans are for this evening. So like I say, kick-off in the game is 8:15. So we will go live with our watch-along at 8 p.m. UK time. After the conclusion of the game, which is hopefully for Liverpool's case in 90 minutes with a Liverpool win. If it's not, we'll go right through to any extra time and penalties, fingers crossed. Again, we don't have to do that, but if we do, we will. After the final whistle, Errol will be live with your fan reactions. So keep an eye on the Twitter feeds, the Facebook feeds as well, and get your comments in after the game. I will then do the player rating show over at the board. Again, completely fully interactive. I need you guys with me in the YouTube chat for that one. And then... a bit later on this evening, streaming live on Redmen Plus, our Netflix-like service, will be the instant match reaction. We'll have a good 20 minutes to half an hour chat about the biggest news and storylines of the game. But the main thing we're here for is obviously the watch along as we wait for the Liverpool team news to come out, which we're guessing will be hopefully in about 8 minutes time. I want to give you guys a quick look. If you've never watched a watch along with us before, now I know the game is on terrestrial TV in Britain tonight, but my advice to you would be to mute the commentary, put the game on the TV, mute the commentary, and just sync up with us, and then you get the 100% biased view of it. You don't have to listen to like the neutral commentators, you just get it from a Liverpool fan's perspective. So if you've never watched the watch along with the Redmen TV guys, when you're wondering what's it all about, what's involved, what do we do, well check this out to find out.
Hey everyone, welcome. And I'm your host, Ross Chanley.
We're going to guide you through the whole of Liverpool versus Arsenal with our completely 100% biased commentary. It's Liverpool 1, it's Arsenal 0. Oh, fuck off. What the fuck's that? Do these people know the fucking rules of football, Errol? Because he's pissing me off. That is absolutely glorious.
The backspin on it though, look at the backspin. Oh, what? It doesn't hit the floor. Oh, offside. Oh!
The goal has been ruled off for offside.
Amazing.
Yeah, so if you are planning to stick around, or you wasn't planning to stick around more so, please do join me and Errol for all of that goodness. Yeah, I do apologise in advance. Sometimes, like you say, there's no bleep on the live show, so I do apologise in advance because I do get a little bit angry sometimes. I can't help myself. Now, Errol, we have yet to get the official team news, but there are a couple of rumours going around about the Liverpool team. A rumoured team that I've been seen on Twitter. Again, it's got Alisson, Milner, Gomez, Kanate, Shimikas, Jones, Ox, Elliott, Jota, Origi, Minamino. Again, that is not confirmed. That is just a rumour. If that is the case, it looks like it's Milner at right back, and then Curtis Jones perhaps playing that number 6 role. If that is the case, by the way, I'll be 10 of 11. I'll be predicted 11. I'll be a bit kind of gutted for that. But if that is what we're going to get to, and again, we will react shortly as the official team comes out. I must admit that is just a rumoured team. We don't know that is official yet. But Curtis Jones as a number 6, if that's the case, that would be an interesting shout.
Very interesting.
In fact, would it be Jones? Would it be Ox? Or could be Ox at right back with Milner playing 6? No, it'd be Jones 6, wouldn't it?
It's got to be. Read the back. We was the midfield, so
it was
Ox,
Jones and Elliott in midfield, so it would be Jones playing like a 6 role.
Yeah, I don't see Jones and Elliott playing in the same midfield though.
It looks like, again, if that's a rumoured team.
Yeah,
if it is that, again, it might just be leg. It might be a case of, as you have got,
just go for it.
Get on with it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think we have seen Curtis a few times come on and play 6. I think he might have played 6 against Norwich, actually. in one of the League Cup games, or he came on at some point and played 6. Let us know in the chat if you remember when that is. But again, I think it is very much a break glass emergency kind of thing. But doesn't want to play Fab, doesn't want to play Endo. Milner's got to go and dog it at right back. It is kind of needs must a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. We didn't have any centre half options either, really, did we? To kind of obviously move Gomez across to right back.
And that's the other, again, because he wants to give Virgil and he rest. Obviously, he doesn't want to play Matip as well.
So it's weird. We go from 1 week like boasting about the squad depth, and then the next game, the players, the quality of player that we're able to field is good, but it's just, what options have we got in reserve to kind of move them around? Obviously, you'd be looking at a bench and there would be some heavy hitters on there as well, but I don't think Klopp would want to use, I think, do we get 5 subs in the FA Cup? So I don't think he would want to use all 5 if he could avoid it. So
unless it's kids, unless he just packs the bench. Again, we referenced before, so Tyler Morton, Conor Bradley, I think it was Owen Beck, Kate Gordon, didn't play in the youth champions, well, the youth cup, youth league, I think it's called today. Liverpool went through on penalties, I think it was against Genk, and all these lads weren't involved, which maybe tips off that they might be on the bench tonight. Because my sense is that there'll be, when he's playing, he's making a lot of changes resting wise. There's lads not even in the squad. Stay at home, get your feet up get your feet up.
And I think that's again another, or maybe a slight indication that he wants to get the game done and dusted as quickly as possible. And then he can bring on those other young lads to say, right, get some more minutes in your legs, get a little bit more experience in front of the home crowd. And we should still have enough on the pitch to see us through the game, because we don't believe that Norwich are going to cause us enough of a substantial threat, really. But that's all kind of dependent on how well that front 3 gels. I like the fact that Taki's in there. Again, I think that means that Jota will go out and play on the left, if that's the front 3, potentially.
It would look like it.
So he'll probably go out on that left. Maybe not as, he's probably not had his best performances in a red shirt on that side for us.
I think Jota is better on the left than the right, though.
Yeah.
It is where he's, of all 3, it's the right where he's at his worst, isn't it? Yeah, going back to it, and a few people in the YouTube chat, I think Vizar mentioned, and obviously Kieran, one of the club legends as well, shout out to Kieran, says, would there actually be a 6? It might be like a 4-4-2/4-2-4. It might be that, which actually, with those players, could make more sense. So if you're sticking Ox and Elliott out, well, no, you're putting Ox centre mid, if that's the case, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're playing Ox centre with...
He's done that before, though, a few times.
I'm not sure Jürgen would go for ever want to do a 2-man midfield. I think he's going to actually, if that's the team that we're going, and we'll find out 2 minutes, if it is the case, but that's my guess would be Curtis will be at the 6.
Yeah, but again, if you do want that 2-man midfield, that's when he's expecting you to kind of blitz the team, go all out.
Oh, then you are going. You might be going 4-2-4 and try and shut these out early, demoralise them. Yeah. Again, with Norwich having that big game at the weekend,
then you can kind of,
if you get 2-0 up, you might want them. You might want Dean Smith and Norwich thinking, you know what?
Trap it up.
Brentford's a big game, innit?
Let's say whatever's in the tank for that.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can change the formation back like through the game to just kind of sit and be a little bit more reserved then, do you know what I mean? Because you kind of got the job done. I mean, ears open. I'm just, how did City end up playing at 7 o'clock last night and we end up with the 8:15 kickoff? Like, what is that about?
Even tonight, there's earlier kickoffs into Chelsea. You've got Luton and things like that. Yeah, there's other games going on. We are aware of it. Again, we're expecting in the next minute or so, I mean, unless Liverpool absolutely do us in even fair, but we're expecting the team to be out. And I'm pretty much, again, it looks almost certain like that team what we think it is going to be. I will be fascinated just to see how Curtis plays as a 6. He's technically good enough.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's got the legs, and he's physically fine, and he's big and strong. He's got all that going for him. It's just... what's the word, like, it's being switched on to the 6. Yeah. Being the 6 is more, he's a very instinctive player with the ball. He wants to go and express himself. You've got to sacrifice yourself as a 6.
Everything's got to be concise.
And you've got to do the dog work for the team. You've got to be there.
Thankless tasks or
basically,
the 90, really.
And also, you can't be as creative, you can't be as expression. It's
the protection of the ball has got to be key. And I think that's probably been one of the, I'm not even going to say criticisms at this point. I'm probably just going to say observations that we've had.
You can be careless with it at times.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And
I think that's fair.
He can hold on to it a little bit too long when he could be releasing it. I think, it might be a good opportunity to get him in that kind of thought process that if you're going to play that position, that's how I need you to move the ball. And then thereafter, it's like more instinctive when he gets further up the pitch and he's starting to play either side of the 6. He knows that he can give it a little bit quicker.
Henderson's in his team. So there you go. That rumour team was completely wrong. Negate all that chat. The Liverpool team is out.
Here we go.
I wasn't far off, you know.
Yeah, go on.
I was not far off. So I'm going to make my way over to the board right now.
I'll read it out.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it now. So we've got Alisson in goal. Milner is going right back. Canate and Gomez. Tsimikas at left back. Henderson, Ox, Jones in midfield. So it looks like a 3-man midfield with Henderson potentially playing that 6 then. And then we have got Minamino, Jota and Origi as the front 3 with subs of Adrian, Kelleher, Mane, Diaz, Robertson, Matip, Elliott, Morton and Bradley. So 2 of the lads that you did mention that didn't get games for the youth team today have been included in the match day squad, Steve.
Right, you can come to me if you want, it's fine. You can watch me time more than my way through this. I've got me 11 sound. I wasn't far off on that. I had Harvey Elliott for Curtis Jones, so 10 out of 11, I'll take that every time. The subs bench is an absolute bomb scare for me, and I will do my best to work through it now. So Adrian and Kelleher. So, I got the goalie wrong. Of course, I got 9. No, I forgot. Jürgen did confirm that after I'd done my show. So I've got the goalie. We've got 2 goalies. Sam, they're going to put 2 goalies on the bench. Brilliant. Who else is there? Sadio Mane is next on Liverpool's list, so he can go there. We've got Luis Diaz there as well. We've got Andy Robertson. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's Robbo. We've got Joel Matip. We've got Harvey Elliott. We've got Morton and Bradley. I've got Bradley. Have I got a Tyler Morton card? This is where the pressure is on to find Tyler Morton. Tom, I'll do my best. I've got... No, that's not Tyler Morton. Where's me Tyler Morton? I'm struggling. That's Kate Gordon. Still struggling. Great TV, great YouTube this.
Can't even see you, not in shot no more, Steve.
No, I'm gone. Oh, I'm here. I'm looking. Look at this. Players everywhere. Cometio, Pitalugo. Who are you? I've never even heard of you. Oh, this is a disaster. Why haven't I got caught? Listen.
Loads to choose from. They know who he is. They know what he looks like.
I'm going to find him. I think. I've never even heard of half of these lads. Who's he? No. I'm fighting a losing battle. You know what? These lads have all got like very similar haircuts as well. Who's he? Is that him? No. Yeah, go to Errol. Errol, just talk a bit. I found him! Yes!
Get it. There's a complete sub-bench.
You don't get that on Sky Sports, do you? So there you go, then the Liverpool 11 and the bench. I am knackered. If you guys could see the floor now, it's an absolute disaster. But yeah, so Alisson, Tsimikas, Canate, Gomez and Milner, Hendo, Ox and Jones, Jota, Origi and Taki Minamino. We've got 2 goalies, Kelleher and Adrian. I'm not sure why, but I think that's the FA rules. You might have to, actually. Mane, we've got Diaz, Bradley, Morton, Elliott, Matip and Andy Robertson. So who's got a complete break then? Fabinho, Van Dijk, Salah, Keita, Trent. Anyone else I'm missing? They've all got complete break. So Errol, what are your thoughts on the team?
Yeah, I like it. The one that you had, obviously, just in terms of that midfield, just had Harvey Elliott. I said I'd have went with Jones over Harvey, potentially, for this game anyway, simply because Jones didn't get a kick of the ball the other day and Harvey got drafted in. If Thiago doesn't go off or doesn't start and doesn't feature at all, maybe this was the game that he was penciled in to start. But obviously that presents an opportunity for Jones. Now I think that is good. I think having Henderson at the 6 makes the most sense for me. If you're going to have James Milner at right back, you can't utilise Gomez in that space. Milner, we know, will still try his best to get up and down. I think he's probably doesn't have to cut back as much when he's on his right side as well. Yeah. So he can just get those balls first time in, which he'll look to do. And I think Henderson didn't look best pleased when he came off the other day. But I think, again, it's probably Klopp saying to him, there are a lot of games coming up. I'm going to need you, not sporadically, but I'm going to need you for moments across all 3 games. So you might end up playing, 180 minutes, but you'll do it in 2 games instead of doing it in over 3. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I'm quite happy with the team. Like I say, I must admit, your team, you got someone shouts. Jim says you got 10 of the 11. I only got 9. To be fair, listen, he knew the goalie as well. I was doing it before the goalkeeper. I should have changed that before. And by the way, everyone who told me Tyler Morton was injured, You lies. You sit on a throne of lies. That's why I couldn't find him. Everyone, oh yeah, Tyler Morton's out. He's injured. No, he's not. He's like, you're lying. I had to scramble around through loads of lads who I wasn't completely 100% sure actually play for Liverpool or not. And
we should just start doing that for like Chris. Just start throwing in faces and names.
Yeah, honestly, I know.
Who ends up on the board?
I know what Tyler Morton looks like. I just couldn't find him in the pile of youth team players. Well, you know what happened? Before the Shrewsbury game, we wasn't sure what was going to happen. Yeah. People behind the Redmen curtain here. So we got Jimmy, one of the lads, to go out and go through the whole youth team and make cards for them. So our pile of players used to be this big, and now it's every under 18s player was in there as well.
We should get like, like that 10-year challenge, and you get your picture from like 10 years ago. We should get like our pictures from like 10 years ago and stick them into the youth team and just see which one gets pulled out.
To see if anyone had a clue.
We might make it onto the bench.
Shout out to Luton Town. I got 1-0 up against Chelsea, by the way, within 2 minutes of that game. Shout out.
GSP video says that Panenka's ruined Kepa.
Was he in goal?
Yeah, he must be, yeah.
I goes the pens for him, bless his little cotton socks. But yeah, shout out. Hopefully, if that could stay again, if Luton Town fan, wouldn't it be mad if Luton Town just pissed Chelsea? Like we just had to go, we got dragged to extra time by them pens. And Luton just going throw 3 or 4 past them.
What would that say about us? I wonder what they've probably put out on much change team as well, to be fair. So it'd be interesting to see. We'll have to have a look when we
I can do that very, very shortly. I can look what the team that Chelsea put out is.
We've got some,
you know what? Rudiger, Loftus-Cheek, Sarr, Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Sal, Kennedy, Mount, Lukaku, Werner. It's got some of the big hitters in it.
Okay. They're just bottling it then. Love to see it. We do. They must have heard they're all up for sale. It's a fire sale. He's down tools, haven't they?
He's off. Who's paying my wages now?
Literally, yeah.
I'm on 200 grand a week.
I'm not kicking a ball for you. I need this shit sorted out.
Right, a good question. That's the one in the chat has just asked, and I will find the answer for you very shortly. Is what is the Norwich City team? Well, it's going along the bottom of of the ticker now. Tom's done that for us. My issue is it's gone. And I've missed it. So I'm going to have to wait. I can either wait for it to come around, or I can mess around on Twitter and find it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mess around on Twitter and bring the Norwich team up then. It's Krul in goal. He's back from his injury. Good for him. Giannoulis at left back. Gibson, Zimmerman, Byram, Norman, Lees Malou, Rupp, Rashika, Pukki and Placheta. Let's go with that. I was told by Joe the other day, the Norwich fan, that Zimmerman is literally he's like their 5th choice centre half. They are completely out of centre half. He hasn't played for so long, but they've got injuries at centre half and suspensions as well. Like Kabak's out, you've got a couple of others. Hanley's out as well. It is it's not Norwich's strongest team. But they have got Rashika, who played well against us the other day. Timo Pukki really should have scored against us. He got in and really should have scored as well. They've got their number 1 goalies back as well. So they haven't played the kids either. They have got changes, and they've got, again, both full-backs are out injured. But Norwich, they haven't thrown the towel in. They haven't just put the under-18s out. They've got
to do a Wigan, aren't they?
They've got half the team out. Yeah.
We want to win the cup and get sent down at the same time. And fair play to them. I think when you're in that kind of relegation battle, you're expecting teams maybe not to get results week in, week out, but performances are absolutely crucial. You need to give the management team something to build on. You need to have moments in games that you can take a little bit of confidence from. So this might be a quote-unquote free hit for them to an extent, but there will be we were setting the bar and we're setting the expectation that, from their game plan's perspective, we're going to keep Liverpool out for 30 minutes. We're not going to give them a sniff for 30 minutes.
And we'll see where we are.
And then we'll see. Do you know what I mean? So there'll be little things like that I think he will be desperate to see from his team, just to see that there's a little bit of fight left in them, there's a little bit of bite, and that they're not completely throwing this season away. Like, from their perspective, it goes completely tits up if they're 15 minutes in, they're 2-0 down.
Just demoralising.
It's just demoralising. It just sets them on that downward spiral, whereas he will, even if they was to lose and go out, finish the game 2-0, but, they've managed to keep a clean sheet for up to 50-odd minutes and kept us out, and he created a few chances himself. He can take that away back down to Norwich with the lads, watch it the next day and say, this was good. We had good moments there. If we'd have done that a little bit differently, we might not have conceded that. There's things that they can take from it that can then push them into the next game with a little bit of confidence. I think keeping that confidence is probably going to be key. It's just how much morale do Liverpool want to suck away from these at the moment, do you know what I mean?
Fingers crossed, there's absolutely loads. What I would say is that Liverpool having made changes, he hasn't gone. There's ways you can make changes. You can play the fringe players, or you can just play the kids.
Yeah.
There's no kids. I say no kids. There are young players on the bench, and like technically Curtis Jones is probably a kid. Javier is a kid. But you get what I'm saying, like it's a first team squad.
That's the alternative 11 that plays the other 11 in training. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
Jürgen hasn't launched it in. He could have easily just played. He could have played Bradley. He could have played Beck. He could have played Morton. He could have played Kate Gordon. Like he had the option to do that. But I think. Do you think deep down inside, he mentioned the other day what he laughed off the quad talk, and he was like, "Oh, don't be silly." Like
clever guy as well.
Deep down, I think this team selection to me, quite fancy that quad, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, then it's the opposite, because you'd have Mane, you'd have Salah, you'd have now Diaz. Midfield wise, you'd have Keita, you'd have Thiago, you'd have Fab, you'd have Trent, Robbo, Verge, Matip, and then you'd have Keller. So all of a sudden, it's that 11 versus that 11, and let's have a game and see who comes out on top. So for me, those lads will definitely look to hold their own.
Yeah.
They will be able to play up to the standard that, Klopp's expecting. And I think, some of the players that we've dropped in today, Milner, as always, for me, I've said it for a couple of games when we've done these streams, these are the games I'm expecting him to play. Gomez hasn't played enough games this season. Cup games are the games I'm expecting him to play. Yeah. Taki had a great League Cup campaign on the whole.
Yeah.
Another opportunity. This is a bigger, more, it's another step up in terms of the quality of cup and the competition. There's another chance for you to get more minutes. Here's another opportunity for you to carry on that form. Same with Origi. We know what you've done for us in the past, but we've now reinforced our forward options. So you automatically become the sixth choice if we need to bring you on, if there are other injuries. I forgot about Bobby as well. I know he's injured, but I didn't even mention Bobby in that 11-1 either before. So, he becomes the 6th or 7th choice forward automatically. So now the cup games it's a prerogative for you to want to have a good performance, get a goal, and take us through to the next round.
And hopefully get another game.
And then, exactly.
Absolutely right. Then, so again, we will go live with the watch along for Liverpool versus Norwich at 8 p.m. UK time. So that is 33 minutes or so. So please make sure you join us for that one. Surely going to be, hopefully, I say surely, very, 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 very likely that Liverpool are going to win. But fingers crossed, we don't want to jinx it. The lads have still got to go and perform. So yeah, me and Ella are going to go off, get a bite to eat, have a drink, settle down. We'll be back at 8 p.m. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, which obviously you are, where else would you be watching it? Click the little alert bell, subscribe to the channel, click the little alert bell, and you'll get the notification as soon as we go live. Please do come and join. It's been an absolute pleasure having you for the Team News Reaction Show. We'll be back for the watch along very shortly, but until then, we'll catch you all in a bit.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to get your name here and here in the credits of all our YouTube videos, then become a Club Legend member on Redmen Plus. Get access to a full suite of incredible Liverpool content, pre-match, post-match, documentaries, features and interviews. And yes, Club Legends, get their names here and get loads of bonus features as well. Discounted merch, free merch, live show tickets and access to our Club Legend Discord chat, which we use in all of our shows. Get involved, the redmentv.com, Redmen Plus.